Boom! What's up, Catfish World? How y'all doing? Good evening. We're going head-to-head tonight against Live PD. I think they're going to win the ratings war. Call me crazy. No, I'm out on Lake Wiley. I'm doing some trolling. It's a little windy. There's a lot of boat traffic. But yeah, I'm doing some trolling out here in some of the deeper river ditches. So see what's going on. See if we can get on some fish. My sidekick is not with me this morning or tonight, so it's just me. So yeah, what's up, Muddy River catfishing out there in New Mexico? It's probably still daylight where you're at, isn't it? So nighttime here. It's gonna be cool tonight, mid-60s. That's as cold as we get. Anyway. I'm out dragging some baits. The fishing's been tough. I went this morning, caught 9 fish in 6 hours of fishing, and had one nice flathead in the 30s that you might have saw a picture of on some of the social media, and it was actually the thumbnail on this morning's live feed. So plucked it off actually middle of the day. I caught most of the fish in the middle of the day, which is, I say middle of the day, around noon to 1 o'clock is when I caught most of those fish. It was a struggle to catch fish. I'm hearing that from a lot of people. They had a one-fish tournament last night on this lake, and I talked to the guy who won it, and 16 pounds won it. So that's pretty crazy. I was thinking 36, 38 would win it. And it's a slow bite, but anyway, that's kind of what's going on. Northwoods Angling, what's up, pal? How you doing, man? Hope you guys are doing good up there in Minnesota. It's going to be cold tonight down here. 65. Yeah, we're just frigid temperatures. But anyway, everybody say hey to everybody there in the chat. Please hit like or thumbs up or whatever you do. Thumbs up here, that's right. And if you haven't subscribed, try to subscribe. Here comes a gust of wind. It's supposed to be 8 to 10 tonight with some gusts up to, I think, 15 to 18. So I'm hoping I've got big enough drift sock out to slow me down. We'll see. I may have to break off of here and go deploy another one that's a little bit bigger. I'm doing about 0.8 right now, which is a little bit faster than I want to be going. And I'm actually looking at it and it's getting higher and higher. I try to keep my drift speed like you must be on the water all your life. I try to be on the water all my life, majestic mud fishing, because life's short and enjoy it. If you can get out and fish. I fish whenever I can because I don't try to time good bites, bad bites, when they're going to bite, all that kind of crap. I don't look at the moon and all that stuff. I just fish, man, and try to find fish that are eating. So what you fishing with tonight? I got some brim and perch. I got on a bunch of perch today. That was one of the things when I was doing my drift during the bad catfish bite. I got onto a bunch of perch and caught a bunch of them. Sadly, there won't be a video from today. The only thing I could do was live because the battery on my GoPro died. So what the heck? I got a good live one this morning. We can answer some questions. Pardon me while I look around. I don't have my extra set of eyes to see what's going on today. Yeah, managed one good fish today. And that was a long drift down through there. Muddy River catfishing. Don't know if you remember, but I saw you about. Get back to that. Somebody said I saw you about 4 years ago on the lake. Just Muddy River. Oh, very cool. Y'all talking to each other. Sorry, I'll get distracted. But one thing I always suggest, it's always good to wear a PFD, but it's even smarter to wear one when there's a lot of boat traffic at night. The other thing I carry is a spotlight. That's not for me. That's to hit people that don't see me. So you get some people out here talking and jowl jacking on a boat, riding around, and they don't see you, and I light them up. So that's a good thing to happen. Somebody asked about the perch. No, those are not yellow perch. We do have yellow perch down here, but these are white perch. They're actually an ocean fish that comes in, and we are scared of the dark. Are you? I'm terrified of the dark. That's why I have 3 AR-15s on the boat with me, and a spotlight, and a bullhorn, and no, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not that scared of the dark. I had to explain that to my son though. But anyway, yeah, they're white perch, which are a saltwater fish that come in inshore fish, just like in the spawns, just like a striper, and they become landlocked and stocked in these lakes, and they breed like crazy in freshwater, and there are massive schools of them. So a packing deater, my kind of guy. So yeah, luckily out here on a boat, if somebody decides they're going to try getting in the boat with you, that's not a smart move on their part. I take that as a threat of bodily physical violence, and that wouldn't be tolerated. So anyway, and I advise the same for you guys too. Depending on where you fish at, I would protect yourself in all legal means necessary. So good little crowd of people coming in for you as you just joined. I'm on Lake Wiley. I am trolling. It's a combination of trolling and drifting, dragging, whatever you want to call it. I have baits on the bottom on Santee rigs. I have a drift sock out the back to control the boat, slow it down, and to keep it at a little bit of an angle where I can keep it in this river ditch. And I have a trolling motor, battery-powered trolling motor in the front that is pushing the boat at an angle. I'm basically doing what I call crabbing down through here. I've got a little bit of a crosswind, so it's just kind of a little bit of a crabbing deal to keep the boat where I need it. So the wind's not exactly where we want it, and all this rocking back and forth is from the boat wakes. Somebody said something about live PD. No live PD tonight. I am not watching live PD tonight. I am the live PD. I'm going head to head with A&E, and I'm going to try to steal some of their ratings. Now, I figured a bunch of you would probably be watching live PD tonight, so I decided to go live myself so you can sit there with your phone and watch live PD on your TV and then watch me on your phone. So it's probably right now a lot more interesting on live PD because I'm sure they're dragging somebody out of a car or turning a dog loose on somebody. So pardon while I look around here just to see what's happening. We've got some interesting stuff with the I talked about the thermocline and the plankton bloom and all that kind of stuff. And I'll tell you what happened today. It was interesting. I went to a section of the river here, the South Fork River, for those of you that know this area. Got up in the river. It's about 25 to 30 feet deep, and this is very interesting. It's something to pay attention to because I had some people ask about this. I noticed in the bottom section of the water column what looks like a thermocline, a very different dense image on the sonar. So I tried to fish suspended above it, but I noticed some arches in it and out of it, but most stuff was above it. So it looks like a thermocline. So I fished above and all this, drag across some humps, get away from it. I had 2 live baits out, and I don't think I caught a fish on that entire drift. It was about an hour drag through there. And when I got to the end, I was reeling in lines, and I had a fish on one of them. I'm like, I'm reeling like, there's a fish on there. Reeling up, it's a catfish. It's dead. Gills are flared out. Apparently, I had caught it when I got near one of the humps and pulled it into the area that had no oxygen in it, and it killed it. The 2 baits, live baits I had, dead. Gills flared out. You can tell they didn't die from a fish strike. They died from lack of oxygen. So people were asking how you tell where a thermocline's at when you're bank fishing. That's a good way. Cast out a live bait and leave it out there 5 minutes. If it comes back dead, you're fishing in water, it's got a thermocline. Or what I'm thinking may be actually plankton or something else in there, and I'm going to talk to somebody way smarter in science than me, but there's this stuff that happens at night in the summertime where this bloom happens at night, and it rises up from the bottom from that section. So I think it's a little mixture of thermocline and a bunch of living crap down there that's consuming the oxygen. So anyway, that water was also a different color. It was a brownish color, where this water is more of our typical greenish look to it. So just something interesting to keep in mind there if you get down these lakes fishing and drop some baits down and you start seeing some funky stuff on your sonar. Actually, I think I can show you here. Hang on. I'm sure there's people on the bank over here camping are probably wondering what the heck is that guy doing. I'm trying to show you what this looks like. There's some of that banding there. That's probably some type of thermocline. If you notice, there's really not much above it. There's some stuff above it, not much below it. So that's and that just started to set in and show up here in the last little bit. So it gives me very little confidence that I'm going to catch fish, but I'm seeing arches down below it here and there. So I'm not really sure And sorry if I lose the connection. For whatever reason, when I drop the phone down next to the sonar unit, I usually lose the connection. So get back to the regular screen so I can see where I'm at, what I'm doing. So that's what we're up against. It's just it's tough fishing right now. That's what I heard from the guys in the tournament. Most of the fish were caught about 2 hours after dark, so that may end up what ends up happening here tonight. Is it may take a while for some of this boat traffic to settle down and everything, because there's like a little evolution change that happens here this time of night with all this stuff in the water column shifting around and moving up. It really goes from the bottom and moves up to the top. So that Allison, I thought it was my transducer. No, Carolina hookers, it is not your transducer. It is this plankton or whatever it is that's blowing up. I'm not sure exactly what it does. I'm curious to the biology behind that. I do know this, generally when it goes on you don't catch fish. It will almost black out your screen depending on where your sensitivity's set. And it doesn't happen where I don't see it where there's any current, but I thought all of you need a stream together. I think all of you need a stream together. We really do. That's what I was talking about the other day about getting Luke and Muddy River catfishing and do a Monday night raw wrestling style thing leading up to and following. Hang on, I'm watching a boat just coming at me. Alright, he's cleared me. Leading up to Catfish Weekly. I think it'd be pretty cool. Pretty cool way to just have a whole bunch of live catfishing on Monday night. May not be that fun in wintertime, especially for Luke up in Minnesota, because I guess do those rivers ice over up there? Does that stuff get iced over where you're at? I guess it does. I don't know. I know Chris's doesn't ice over. It doesn't get that cold down there. So, see if there's any questions in here. I can actually see good at night. Well, Virginia came on. What kind of FF you have? What kind of FF? All right, Derek. What's an FF? Fish finder. Oh, it's a. Sorry, I got the code there. It's a special one that I built myself. I'll show you real quick. You'll love it. It's the official Dieter Melhorn Fishing on YouTube sonar unit. It's a nice one. They're for sale. There's this week you can get them. Let me get back to me. Sorry. I'm offering them for sale this week only for $6,000, and I'll get you one. I'll get you and we're having a buy one get two free for $6,000. So just like that. No, seriously, it's a Lowrance HDS10. That's what I've got. It's got the structure scan and all that kind of stuff on it. So I got it a couple years ago, saved my pennies up, and let my pennies sit in the bank for a long time, and didn't want to buy it because I'm a cheapo. And I finally pulled the trigger and bought it, and it's pretty cool. Hang on, checking my rods real quick. Make sure everything's still there. The structure scan's a cool tool. It comes in very handy for figuring out whether you're looking at a brush pile, looking at a pile of bait, looking at a tree, looking at a bridge, what exactly you're looking at, and comes in real handy shallow water fishing with the side scan. I take that for $1. There's our first bid. Opening bid on the sonar unit, $1. You guys get to keep the bidding going. At least $1 increments. So just keep that going, and I'll check back in a few hours and see where we sit. Pardon me while I have a refreshing drink. As you can see, there ain't no magic happening. I'm not seeing a lot of the sonar now either, which tells me what I was seeing earlier before it got dark may be pulling up shallow. There is virtually nothing on here in the deeper water. That's not good. So, that's a big boat. That's a big wake. So that leaves me a couple options. I can either try getting over closer and dragging the bank, a little bit of a moon, or I can pull up onto this adjacent flat. Decisions. Hello, Samuel. How are you doing? Awesome. Been hammering the giant blues and stripers. Awesome. Extreme much fishing. Out there, Scott Manning. What's up, Scott? Howdy, Captain Scott. Well, we're not hammering anything here. It's been a slow bite over here, and most of the most of the lakes on the Catawba chain. I've heard the same thing out of Watery. It's kind of been, are you sponsored by Lipton Pure Leaf too? No, I am not. I am sponsored by Sundrop. Diet Sundrop is my sponsor. No, Luke and I are both working on our own beverage endorsements, and we'll get back to you in the future with that. So, yeah, no, Luke is Mr. Pure Leaf. So, what's that? I might be, somebody said, Muddy River catfishing. I might be in Memphis in September. Chris, I may be in Memphis in September too. So, I'm working on making that happen. I won't be fishing the tournament, but I'm thinking about going out there and doing some pre-fishing, riding around with Lyle from Catfish Weekly, because I've never done any bottom bouncing with anybody that knew what the heck they're doing, and so I'm thinking about going out there and trying that. That fishing out there in that river and that current is it's unlike anything we do around here. It's like anything I do in Eastern Tennessee. It's probably closer to some of the stuff I do down at the coast at some of the big bays like Winyon stuff, where there's just really ripping current. So yeah, I may try to go out there. It would be, I think, worth it to go out there just for a couple of days and do it just to experience and see what that fishing's like. Because I got a lot of respect for those guys on those big rivers catching fish. That's a totally different way of fishing out there, and totally different style of fishing, and it's there's some danger to it. I mean, that kind of current, depending on what's going on with the wind, how big a straight chutes of river you've got, and the stuff that comes through there, it sounds like it would be very difficult to do alone. It's what it sounds like to me from all the descriptions that I've had. So, but yeah, what does that say there? Hit the flat guys down here have been catching on flats at night, and that's probably what these fish have moved up to. I'm in a quandary here of, mainly because of the way the wind's blowing and the way this drift is going. Getting over to there is going to be difficult, but I think I'm going to cut the tip off this point and see if there's some fish pulled up on it. I've just got to get a little bit further down, a little bit of tactical stuff going on here to figure out what's what. Definitely not any fish here in the river channel. Whatever was in here is completely gone, and yeah, ESR 75, it is difficult and dangerous out there. So yeah, I think it's good to have two sets of eyes on a boat when you're doing stuff out there, just to keep an eye on what's going on and be able to handle those different situations that you get into out there. Like I said, I've done it a little bit on Winyon Bay, which has a really strong current. So I know how that it's you got to be careful, not get too stupid and stuff. So anyway, what was that? Carolina Hookers. I'm right down, Carolina Hookers. I'm right down from where you fish at. Actually, I'm just not far from it. May go up here and try it. The wind's about right to drift through there. I'm not going to try anchoring in this wind. It's too big of a pain in the butt, and not any fun. Me don't like anchoring in a whole bunch of wind. I'm just not a big fan of the boat swing stuff. I'm going to let this boat make a little bit of a turn here. Slow this sucker down some too. I'm going to have to put out a bigger drift suck. We got a lot of, see, there's still some fish down below that stuff though. That's interesting. All right, here's your chance. Take a pee break. Go grab a drink. Put the pizza in the toaster oven, or go ahead and send in your order to Pizza Hut. I'm going to put out a drift sock, so I'm going to be off camera for just a second. I'm not going to jump off the feed. I'm going to let it roll, because I think if I get up here and make this turn, I'm on a long drift. So we'll just see what happens. I'm not really going hole hopping here to try to chase down a bunch of stuff. I'll sit here and talk and yak and answer questions, but let me get this back out, see what happens, and here's your break. Be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. I got the bigger drift stock out now. Let me see where the heck I'm at. Okay. Hey, make sure it's fully open. Stand by. Alright, she's open now. Let me see where the bank is. Sorry guys, figuring out what's going on here in the darkness. Alright, I'm good there. Alright, sorry about that, I'm back. That light where I need it. Alright. Checking out my speed. What I'm doing is getting a grip on where my speed's at, making sure the drift stock's fully deployed, and making sure I'm clearing the bank over here. I'm really cutting down this edge pretty tight. Alright, should be good there, I think. Alright, sorry about that. Sorry about the silence. Trying to figure out what's on. Good evening, Dieter, Skip. For a brief update if joining late. Yeah, I'm actually give everybody an update in just a second. As soon as I make sure the boat's slowed down good. Alright, I'm back. Nice boat there. How y'all doing? Light y'all up. There you go. Make sure we can see you. Me helping out the boaters. Anyway, here's the update, guys. I'm on Lake Wiley. I'm trolling, drifting. I'm doing more drifting right now than anything. This is pretty much wind driven. I've got 6 rods out, no planer boards. I'm not dragging any planer boards tonight because that's just a big pain. If they pop loose and you got to go chase them down in the dark. I've got brim and perch out, and basically what I'm doing now is I've come up out of a river channel which had fish before it got dark. Now after dark, with everything that's going on with the, and I'm going to try to get closer because I know it's windy, with the thermocline and everything and the plankton and blah blah blah, the fish aren't here. They're just not seeing them. So that's what's going on. I haven't caught a fish yet. I fished this morning. It was a slow bite this morning. I had to work to put 9 fish in the boat in 6 hours. So yeah, that's pretty slow in my world. And well, it's slow for summer anyway. There should be a little bit better bite. But I'm hearing that from a lot of people around the lake. So where you get your bait, I catch all my bait here. They're between Flathead and Channel Cat. Northwoods, I'm going to help you with that. I catch all my bait here in the lake. Either catch brim right along the bank here, which are easy to catch this time of the year. And the perch I catch out here drifting too. Like when I was up in the upper part of the lake this morning, I had some little double hook rigs out that I keep in the water and catch them when they're there. Northwoods, the difference between a Channel Cat and a Flathead is one has spots. Anyway, that's all you need to know. Only the flats bite the liver. That is true. Flats love liver. Flats are found up shallow because they move shallow for when the chickens come down to expel their livers into the water. So, no, I do not cast net. I do cast net for shad when I try to catch them. Thanks for the questions, by the way. I appreciate it. You can't cast net for brim here. You can cast net white perch, and if they're schooled up pretty good, you can do that, especially but most of the time you're capturing about 18 or 19 feet of water, and they're down near the bottom, so it's kind of hard to cast net on them, and they're moving quite a bit. They're kind of a hard fish, but when they get up higher in the water column and you get them schooled, especially right at dark, you can throw a cast net on them and fill it up when they're hair schooled up. So good questions, good questions. How many amazing hair? How long have you had amazing hair? Northwoods, I'm going to tell you, my hair's been amazing since birth. It's just been more of it recently. It's like your amazing beard. It's just that manly whisker thing, that millennial whisker face that you have. It's the fish like it. The fish like it. Now, I don't, not being a male underwear model like Luke is at Northwoods Angling, I don't have the following of women that he does, but still the hair is an attractant to the fish. So it works. Now, for those that you can't see it, for those of you that don't know the story, I'll fill you in since I'm not catching any fish. About a little over a year ago, my barber moved from right up the street. She moved. And I didn't get a haircut for like a while. And it went on and on. I am checking some rods and on. And when my wife met me, I'd gotten out of the military and I let my hair grow when I got out of the military. So it was long then, and then I cut it, which if y'all have seen any pictures of me, 2 years ago I had virtually a shaved head. I mean, it was numbers 2s and 3s when I got a haircut, if you know anything about barber shears. But anyway, I digress. So we kind of hit a thing of made a joke of, well, let it grow for a year and you can get a new truck. I was driving a truck with 300,000 miles on it and kept putting it off and putting it off. And so March 1st of this year was a year. It had grown a year. And I got my truck. I got me another Nissan Titan. And so now at some point I'm going to cut it. Right now it's such a topic of conversation and there's a small group of people that it really annoys. I'm going to keep it for a while. So ideally, in all honesty, I'd like to get it to I think it's a 10-inch ponytail, and you can donate it to Locks of Love. They make the hair pieces for people who are going through chemotherapy treatments. So I think I'm going to try gutting it out until I get to that point. I figure if I'm going to cut it, I can wait a little while longer. It's actually not that bad this summer. Last year was really bad because it was only down to like right here, and it was hanging on my neck. When I was outside working in the heat, it was just aggravating. This year I can pull it into the ponytail and it's not as hot. So how in heaven's name we got into a conversation about my hair and my ponytail. That shows you how bad the fishing has really gotten. So sorry. Do you ever rock a man bun? That's a very good question there, pal. No. I've got there's a few limitations with the hair, okay? I won't get it cut into a mullet, okay? The short in the front, long in the back. Won't do that. And I won't do the man bun. I'm just, that's just too hipster millennial. I could see Luke doing it at Northwoods Angling. If he had long hair, he would do a man bun with his millennial beard. He would just be Mr. Millennial then. But no, I can't do it. I can get by looking like Ted Nugent or something. I'm okay. Would Ted Nugent do a man bun? Would Jamie Johnson do a man bun? No. Dieter Melhorn is not going to do a man bun. So that's just a good question, though. I mean, it's a fair question. Excellent leader. I have a friend that does the same thing. Locks of Love. See, I heard the same thing. Yeah, cool. It's cool. There's something good to do with it. It's something that helps people, and I'm not as y'all can tell, I'm not the most vain person in the world. So having the long hair and whatever, it's just kind of become a little joke. So that's kind of the story behind it. Mr. Millennial. Mr. Millennial. Drinking tea. It's probably has like is it like no sugar and like what's that other thing none of the millennials want in anything they eat? There's something free. I don't know. We bunch of just gluten. Exactly. It's gluten free. Pure leaf is probably what he's drinking. So I'm sorry, dude. I got to rag on you. I love you. We're going to get the fish together one day. It'll be a hoot. And you can do the hoot. You can do the whoo, whatever that little noise is you make. Anything of size this morning, we passed as I was going. Oh, very cool. Yeah, I had one fish. If you go to my Instagram account or Dieter Melhorn Fishing on Facebook, I have a picture of a flathead that I caught middle of the day. I think it was around 12:30. 30 pounds and some ounces, whatever. Nice flathead. Really thick, big body on it. Caught it up on a flat. I had drifted for about an hour and not had a single bite. Had picked off some perch. It was up on a flat in about 15, 16 feet of water. No structure, no nothing around. So anyway, it was that was the big one of the night. The other fish were small. I got a slam. I did pick off a small blue, and a bunch of them were channel cats. Just so you know, I've been keeping track of. Get my little thing up. I don't have it up here. Oh, yeah, I do. These. I got these from the folks at Hooker's Terminal Tackle. Get it to where you can read it. There you go. They're rattles. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride. Anyway, Hooker's Terminal Tackle, rattles. And I'm trying these things out, and I'm keeping count of the fish that I catch. I've got it split up right now on my rods, and I've got 3 without, 3 with. Just saying what the difference is. This morning, out of 9 fish, 5 of them came on rattles. So I'm going to do this over a long period of time just to see what happens. YouTube collab tonight with Northwoods and Dieter. At some point, we're going to do one. We're going to get our butts together in the same place at some point. Junior, I'm on Wiley. I didn't go to Watery. I started to, and I just didn't. I just decided to fish up here. I may go down tomorrow and try it just to do some different water. I'm about tired of fishing Wiley. But I've heard that the bite down there is about the same. It's kind of in the same pattern. There's like a time of day bite to when it's good and you catch fish. And it's, the drift speed is actually fast right now, but there's current. They're pulling water. For whatever reason, this lake water's still moving. I've got out a huge drift sock and there's not that much wind and I'm doing 0.8. So that tells me there's current moving, which is really stroking it. Double checking, 0.7, 0.7. A little bit that was boat yaw, so it's about 0.7 to be actually. That was some of the boat swinging. I'm in about 13 feet right now. I'm coming across the end of a point. Gonna go back into some deeper stuff around this river channel. Hoping something gets plucked off here. Let me double check this drift stock, y'all bear with me just a second. Perch dying back there in the bait tank. Was hoping, or was thinking, that I was going to get stopped here at some point tonight. There are a lot of police boats on the lake, so we may have our own version of live PD out here if I get checked by the DNR guys. They were checking. There were some bow fishing boat. There was a bow fishing boat or two, and some reason he was going through their boat. I don't know what was up with that back at the ramp. So I seen somebody on the lake. Probably not a good night for bow fishing. There's a lot of, it's not a smooth night. It's a lot of stuff on the water. But I'll bring y'all up to date for anybody that's just tuned in. See that I got the bad connection signal. I'm on Lake Wiley. I am drifting, trying to pick on some fish, figure out what's going on. And 10 degrees. You watched it last night, didn't you? Yeah. That one has resonated throughout Facebook in the beat down from the police. Yeah. I'm gonna resist. But yeah, the 10 degrees thing, for you guys that don't watch live PD, there was something with some guy going crazy talking about 10 degrees. I don't know what that was. The water temp is 89 where I'm at. So the power plant is not running. Plant Allen, there's nothing coming out of the scrubber. So the water has cooled down a little bit coming out of there, but still warm. It's about at its peak for the summer. It's about as hot as it gets. We'll have some 92, 93 degree water, 94, right around the hot water discharge when they're making power on the really, really hot days. But the main lake part, about as hot as it gets, 89. You'll see it 90-ish if it really holds, if we really have some hot days consecutively and some nights that are only, upper 70s. But It's about at the peak right now. So, let's see what I got going here. May have been part of my problem. I still had the trolling motor pulling. This boat's going to come to a screeching halt right here. I made a mistake. I had the trolling motor going. That's why my speed was so high. That'll teach me. What's up, Mitchell Jones? We've got a good group of people. We've had 20-some in and out. That's awesome. That's awesome. Good little group of people. I know people come in and out, and that's cool. If you have any questions, throw them out there. Throw a thumbs up. If you're too shy to ask it now, this thing will post up, and you'll be able to watch it later. You can put a comment or question down in the comment section below the video once it's up. And, yeah, I can chat with you there. As always, feel free to message me or anything else if you got a question that pops up. Love talking with you guys. And if you see me out somewhere at the boat ramp or something, there was telling this morning there was a guy that was like staring at me the other day at a gas station, and I was like, oh God, what's this? Is he going to kill me or something? Or but anyway, he thought he recognized me, thought he knew who I was, and came over and talked to me. He was real cool, nice guy. I met a couple of people that I've seen on here, so that's cool. So I'm gonna go to river fishing. Have been having terrible time with turtles lately. Let's go to your fishing shallow. I bet you're in shallow water. What kind of bait are you using tonight? Get to the bait in a second. If you're catching turtles, I bet you're shallow. I bet you're in under 10 feet of water. That's generally where you start seeing them. Whenever I start going up and fishing shallow for flatheads, that's usually where you start picking up turtles and some of the shallower stuff. Especially when you get in 3, 4, 5, 6 feet of water. You get a lot of turtles in there. So that's just the nature of the beast. They'll break your heart, man, because I told the story the other night. I was in a tournament one time, and man, needed a good fish, rod folded over, and it's going, and it's getting near the top, and it's at night, and I got a light, and I see that big white brown thing, and I'm going, oh man, this is the Mama Jama flathead. This is the beast. And then it gets closer to the top, and I see the legs. I'm like, dang. They'll break your heart. You think you got a monster, and it's a big old turtle. But yeah, usually it's shallow water fishing. That's usually where you start to pick them up. As for the bait, bluegill and brim again, or brim and perch again tonight is what I'm dragging along. So you still haven't went up in Catawba Creek. I actually went behind the bridge the other night when my son and I were out here. We anchored up right at dark behind the bridge. I'm actually directly in front of Catawba Creek right now. Right over there is Catawba Creek. I'm right out in front of it. I'm off the point down here on the other side near Reflection Point for any of you people that are familiar with Lake Wally. We drifted out of Catawba Creek from the bridge out, and I think we picked off 2 fish or something. It was a real bad bite. Just hadn't been anything really good lately. Not sure exactly why that is. Some of it could have to do with this plankton stuff going on. Water temperatures, they are what they are. You're going to catch fish, you're going to eat either way. I was telling somebody the other day, it's a good point to bring up for any new people out there. Water temperature is about the least important. Yes, it's cut bait. I'm dragging no live ones tonight. Water temperature is the least important factor when it comes to catching catfish. Out of depth and everything. First thing a fish has to have in the water is oxygen. You got to have a place that has oxygen. That's first and foremost, most important. Second thing is you got to have food. And the third thing is temperature. They can pretty much live in just about any water temperature, as long as any water temperature that will naturally reach, as long as there's oxygen. So, I mean, you look at brim are up on the bank all day long, and that water's, some of the warmest water because it's shallow and clear, and it heats up quicker than anything, and brim in there all day long. So, first and foremost, they got to have oxygen. Second, they got to have food. You got food and oxygen, they'll hang around in 95-degree water if they got both of those. So, that's just something to keep in mind. I know people try going fishing deep. Interesting point, good little thing here, taking note on this. Buddy of mine, Roger Taylor, who's a guide on this lake, we share a lot of information. We were talking this morning, he has a submersible thermometer, and it gives him readings at different water depths. In 38 feet of water today, there was a 4-degree temperature difference between the top and the bottom. That is it. It was like 92 on the top, and it was like 88 on the bottom. It might have got to 87, something like that. 91 to 87, something like that. So it's not like it gets cold in the bottom of these lakes. They're not really deep enough. There's too much water moving. There's just not that big of a difference. So fish are going to go deep. If they're going deep, it's going to be because of oxygen. So maybe better oxygen levels. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're deciding where you're going to fish. Let me take a look at these rods real quick. Lay that where they're. This is hideous fishing. Not a fish yet, and I've been dragging since 9 o'clock. Been on here for 40 minutes. I have not caught a fish. So I'm coming into a little place here, though, if I can stay off the bank. Let's see what will happen here. To where I usually can pick up a fish. So never leave fish to find fish either. It's a good point. I always say it's an insult to the fish when you leave biting fish, and they will tell everybody, and the next place you go they won't bite, just to teach you a lesson. So but yeah, that's an old rule of thumb. Never leave biting fish. But there's a little place down here. There's a mussel bed, and I'm getting ready to come up on here in about another probably 10 minutes of drifting. Probably a decent chance of maybe something happening. Let me get this adjusted. Let's see if we can crab the boat over in that direction. Yeah, good crowd of people tonight. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully, I don't think I'm beating. I'm gonna check the ratings, but I don't think I'm beating Live PD. But I want to give you an option. So you fishing next week at night? I've got to go to New York for work some point in the week. I'll probably fish some early. I'm actually gonna try to do a couple of live things. I actually realize that people enjoy watching these at night. Get pretty good viewership, better viewership than I do during the day, obviously, because if you're like me, when I watch Luke do his thing at Northwoods Angling, I'm sitting around in my recliner playing on the computer, and it's cool to tune in and watch, a little entertainment. Sometimes you see a fish get caught, but hopefully you learn something. And let me check that motor, see what's that motor's turning. Okay. Yeah, hopefully you learn something. So sometimes it can be more entertaining than some of the crap on TV. And you never know what's going to happen next. So, and we may be getting hit. May have a bite. We may have a bite. That could be a massive channel catfish. He could maybe go in 2 pounds. Let me go check. Man, this wind is picking up. All right, I'm going to crank up the light a little bit here, guys. Not there. Woo. Not a good idea with that brightness. Guess I just don't need it. There we go. Maybe he is there. I'm not sure what I got going on here. That or I'm pulling in 3 rigs. I think that's what I'm doing. Yeah. Oh, we have a tangled mess. The fun of fishing at night. One of the reasons I'm not a fan, get that light to quit flickering, stand by. One of the reasons I'm not a fan of braid is because when you get one twisted like this with braid, you pretty much have to take a knife to it to get it untangled, especially if it goes into somewhat of a knot. Ripping pretty good tonight. do is end up cutting one of these. Cut one of the lines off right at the swivel. Good chance to show you the rig I'm using. It's a Santee rig. Lights, man. See if we can dim it some. Got a big long slinky weight tied to a swivel. This goes to the leader, about a 50-pound leader. Got one of those little rattles on there, on the slip cord, then the hook on that end. So yeah, what I do is I just, when we get a tangle like that, I just cut one of them off. Makes getting it loose a lot easier. Oh, the fun. Hey guys, got a whole crowd coming in now. Sorry you came in at a dead time. I had thought I had a bite, but it was tangled up in another rod, so I had to jump over here, cut something, untangle it, get it back out. You hadn't missed anything, hadn't caught any fish. It's a pretty bad bite. I got a feeling it's going to pick up weight. Remind me to tell you why I think it's going to pick up weight. Let me get this rod back in the water. Got here. I got going on here with the bank. Yeah. I had a feeling that was happening. About to run into the bank up here. I'm gonna have to make a turn to get me back out to some deeper water. Here's why I think the bite's gonna happen late. This is my thinking on it. Going live at 10. Hey, Northwoods, are you going live on Facebook or on YouTube? Let everybody know. That way if people want to pull them both up, they can pull them both up. That's a good point. Can you bring up 2 live streams at the same time and watch them on YouTube? I don't even know if you can do that. Probably have to have 2 devices, maybe. Anyway. But yeah, let everybody know whether you're going to be on Facebook or YouTube. Northwoods Angling. If you guys haven't checked him out, check him out here on YouTube, and he's also on Facebook. So thanks, Northwoods. I'm gonna tune in. But yeah, got a cool channel. Does some cool stuff. I think he does the best editing. His of all the catfish channels that I subscribe to, I think the shows that he edits are the best ones. I saw his piece that he did out sturgeon fishing. It's as good as anything that you will see on real TV. As a matter of fact, it's better. It's in the class of what it's up there with like what I ain't gonna say it's what Shockey and them do, but it's better than like Bill Dance. I mean, it blows that kind of stuff away. So they do a real good job with the edited stuff. And by the way, Luke was real impressed with that show and the way y'all cut that stuff together. I don't know if you're doing the editing or your partner's doing it, but very impressive. Good stuff. Good use of music. Let me see what we got here. You ever try suspending some baits off planer boards about 20 feet? Yes, Jeff. All day today. I tried that. I tried it last week. I have not caught a fish doing that yet. So, yeah, I've tried it on planer boards. I've tried it on bobbers. I've tried them straight down. I've not caught a fish suspended yet on Lake Wally during this little slump. Not sure why. Maybe I'm just not good enough. Sorry, I'm just checking to see where the heck my bait's headed. But yeah, I can't make it work. I see some fish suspended. generally my experience has been when I find suspended fish, they're not biting. So maybe I just suck. Jeff, come get on the boat with me and school me on that. I'd like to. How much weight do you drift with? About 1.5 ounces to 2 ounces. We can split screen stream on Facebook now. I don't know how to do that. Split screen stream. I can't even say that. Dude, I'm just a poor southern boy. I don't know all them big terms. I'm gonna check on that though. I'm gonna learn that one. About 1.5 ounces to 2 ounces. Somebody was asking about the weight. Yeah, it's about 1.5 ounces to 2 ounces. That's just, you can go lighter if you're dragging along small baits and then how deep you are and all that kind of stuff. But I just rather put it on the bottom and pin it on the bottom. I use either the homemade weights that I use. Drifting Sticks makes a weight. I don't know what their website is, but you can message me, and it may be in my links still. I don't know. I've actually got a video about the drifting sticks that shows them. They're basically, let me show you what one looks like. I think I've got one on the boat. Hang on. I know I got some laying at the house that I hadn't put on the boat. Let's see here. Bam! I think I'm gonna skirt the bank here and make it. I think. Let's see where I'm at. Hang on. Bear with me. I'm trying to navigate. I'm right on the bank. I'm going to have to juice this up a little bit. Sorry. Anyway, Drifting Sticks. This is one of the sinkers they make. Pretty cool. There they are. There we go. They got a rattle in them. Got a little rattle noise going on. Got a little thing on one end that you can clip onto a sinker slide or onto a snap swivel, like on the rigs I use, and yeah, pretty cool. They're kind of solid and kind of drag along the bottom. Pretty cool. You can buy these. These are pretty heavy. They're in that 1.5 ounce range, 2 ounces. So it just kind of depends how deep I'm fishing, that kind of stuff. Good question. It's a good one to ask, because I've seen some people dragging along some really small weights, and sometimes what happens, I think sometimes it can be good, because I've had this happen when a weight busts open and you lose the weight out of it and the bait floats up and you end up catching fish. Sometimes you're not always on the bottom, depending on how fast you're drifting. But what does it say? I'm on the Facebook page. Here we go. Where are you fishing at? What kind of the Northwest 10 Central. I like to put both of them. They still have mussels on the protected list. Okay. Don't know about the mussels, unless it's the, I think you're asking about mussels on a protected list. I assume you're talking about that, what is it, that heel cutter or whatever it was called. Let me get my boat straight, stand by. Yeah, I think there's some Carolina heel cutter or something like that that's supposed to be some kind of protected mussel. The biggest one we have here are the Asiatic clams, and they're not protected. They're an invasive clam. They're widespread, and they're catfish forage. Major stuff for them. Major fish food. So they said YouTube is much better than Facebook. You know, and I'm wondering which is better. It seems like I get more people on YouTube. I don't know, but I guess it depends on what kind of fan base you build. So I don't know. It's cool. We got 24 people on there. That's cool. Good little group of people. I'm sure there's what makes kind of so. Okay. I get to just you. It's a 2.5 inch float on the Santee rig. I have one out here that has a 3.5 inch float on it for the really big baits, like the perch heads and big shad heads, to float up the bigger baits. That's similar to, it's a large float, similar in size, got the same kind of lifting ability of like the Demon Dragons that you've seen out there. So same kind of lifting ability. But yeah, the 2.5 is what I use for most everything. That'll float a pretty big piece of bait down through there. Have I caught any tonight? No, I've not caught a fish so far. I kind of if I wasn't live right now, I would probably go to another place. But I've kind of stayed with this live stream just to entertain a little bit and talk to you guys. It's kind of like what me and my son did the other night. We were actually fishing right across from where I'm at, and we actually fished out here. Hang on, hair's going straight. There went my light. We stayed out here longer than we needed to. Bear with me. I lost my light. Don't go nowhere. I'm gonna check this. Yeah, we stayed out way longer than we needed to in that area because the fish wasn't working. What was funny was when we went off the air and we're reeling lines in, we had 2 fish that were being dragged on top of the water. Let's see the rod go. Not sure if that's a bite or not. This is not the dadgum paint. Trolling at night, it's fun. Do you think the fish are biting better later at night? Oh yeah, and that's don't let me. I'm gonna answer that now because I wanted to answer that earlier. Here's why I think the bite's gonna happen late. The bite happened in the middle of the day today. The good bite, the better fishing that I caught fish, believe it or not, was like noon, 12 to 12:30. I caught at 11:30, 12:30, somewhere in that range is where I caught a bunch of fish. So typically my rule of thumb, and this is just a rule of thumb, 12 hours later you're gonna have a good bite again. So that's what I think. I think it'll be good around midnight tonight. I think there'll probably be some fish caught then. That'll probably be the best time to be out here, all other things being equal. So that actually fits into what I heard from the guy who won the tournament here last night. He caught his fish around 12:30, 1 o'clock. So that kind of, it fits into that way of thinking. So I think right now we have a major time of day bite going on. For some reason that happens in the summertime, and I'm not sure why. It's not something where you catch them all day long. It seems like there are some windows and pockets where you're catching fish, so that's what I think's going on. There's some other good questions in here that I saw. How deep are you? I'm only in 21 feet right now, so it's not that bad. I'm adjacent to the pretty good ways off the river channel. I'm actually over near the bank with the way the wind's got me going. Let's go down, yours, just like here, and then just lost in here. Bring you up to date. If you just tuned in, I am on Lake Wiley. I am drifting, trolling. It's a combination of both. I've got a large Easterland drift sock out the back. Got pretty good wind tonight. You can probably hear it on the phone. So yeah, it's kind of windy. It's kind of tough. And I'm dragging some brim and perch. My advice right now, with as long as I've made this pull, I would move somewhere. My next move is into a creek. I'm going to get away from all this stuff with the plankton and all this stuff going on. I think that's where the fish will be. So I may go ahead and get off of this link here in a second and go try that. That would be my advice if I was telling somebody to fish. I've drugged this for a long time. We've been on the air live for almost an hour. Haven't caught a fish. I was fishing about 15 minutes before that. That long on this pattern, I should have had fish. So under 10 feet. Yes, I've done it before. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, if I go into this creek down here that I'm thinking about going into, some of it will be that shallow. And I've caught fish. I think it's better with planer boards just because you get the baits away from the boat. I don't know how much the boat makes a difference, but I've caught them that shallow without, dragging. So we'll see what, I'm going to try that before it's over. It's still early. It's only 10:30, so I'm going to give that a shot back in there. I think that's where the fish are going to be at. That's kind of my gut feeling. Sorry, I was watching a rod do something there. So it's now I did this. I'll tell you. I said earlier, if I was giving somebody advice, I would tell them to make a move. And this afternoon when I was out fishing, the last place I drifted, I just did a set it and forget it. I was in a place where wind was blowing it and I could literally drift down the river for about 2 miles. The bite was, it's like it is now. I drifted for an hour, never had a bite. I mean, it's like what I'm going through now. and then I catch a 30-pound flathead just out in the middle of nowhere. So you can always catch one. It can happen at any time. You can. Some of the better fish I've caught have been on hideous bites, and the wind just died. Just completely died. That's weird. But I've been on hideous bites to where I fished and just not. Near here, I caught a 50-some pounder in the winter, and last year, hideous bite. I think I had 2 fish all day, and then poof, I caught that fish almost at the end of my drift in the back of a cove. So it can happen. I just like to up the catch rate. I like a little higher catch rate. I like to, put a few fish in the boat. It doesn't have to be crazy, but if, ideally I'm shooting for 2 fish an hour. If I can do that, I'm having a good day. Let me get this boat trimmed right here. 2 fish an hour is what? Hang on, I'm watching this boat behind me. Trying to figure out how fast he's closing on me. I'm gonna light him up, stand by. Alright, I think he saw me now. I gotta keep an eye on these idiots, sorry. Yeah, some of these, the thing that worries me more than anything is when I see a pontoon boat with headlights on it. That tells me that that person cannot see where they're going. And if they need headlights, they're probably not going to see me. So, those are the ones that worry me. They scare me. Yeah, this guy finally figured out where the heck he's going. What a weird running light situation. Anyway, where was I? I've been distracted. Let's see if we got any comments in here. Moonface. Ever drag shallow at night? Moonface. Here's the thing, fish are biting better later at night. Moonface. Moonface is a great question. We got I guess it's a waxing moon now. Quarter waxing, half waxing, something like that. I don't remember. I think it's wax on. Isn't that right? It's wax on. Anyway. I don't get crazy about moonface. Just like my tracking of the rattles, I track the color of my drift corks. The giveaway happened. It was the t-shirt giveaway happened, and I haven't heard from the guy who won it. It was Working Class Outdoors ended up winning him. I'll get back to Moonface. This was the t-shirt giveaway a while back. I put it on the thing. I'm going to do my giveaway different next time. I got to notify people better. I think the total was 20, and there were answers at 19 and 21. So I put those into that little drawing thing that randomly picked somebody, and he ended up winning it. So, yeah, that's what it ended up being. Anyway, back to Moonface. I tracked that stuff for years. And I found that I caught fish full moon, dark moon. I had large numbers, bad. I had good days, I had bad days. There was no rhyme or reason to when it happened. I couldn't make any rhyme or reason to it. So I had also tracked the color of the drift corks on my drift rigs. Tracked that for about a year. Just when I thought one was going to take over, found out it didn't matter. They all, over the course of time, get hit equally, some days more than others, and I don't know if that's because that color matters or that's just one of those random things of probability and the way it goes. So, there comes the wind. Okay. But, yeah, I'm not again, I fish when I can. I guess if you have the ability to go, I'm going to fish, tonight, whatever, I don't know, I fish when I can. I try to put as much time on the water. I'm not the best fisherman in the world, but I believe that the more time you put on the water, T-O-W, tow, time on the water, the better your chances for catching big fish. So, all things being equal, you got to have time on the water. That's the one thing. So, how fast am I drifting? I'm doing about 0.5 right now, which is perfect. It's really slow. And where it should be. And yeah, I got 6 rods out. I'm dragging them all on the bottom with Santee rigs, and haven't nailed one yet. So I'm going to make a move though. I am going to jump off of here. Hopefully all you guys follow me on Dieter Melhorn Fishing on Facebook, because I go live on there sometime. I may try that here in a little bit and see if I can sync up with Luke at Northwoods Angling. I'm going to see if I can make that happen. So make sure you go to Facebook and check out Dieter Melhorn Fishing. Hit like, hit follow, I think is what it's called. And that way you can keep up with me there. Most of my stuff's going to be done on here though, because I like this. I like the format of getting questions and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's a better platform right now. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. Everybody's hung with me for a long time tonight, and that's pretty cool. I know people are in and out and all that, and that's cool. Like I said earlier, I got a fish, big fish. Stand by. Thought it was a big fish. I just heard line going up. All right, bigger than I thought. The other bad thing about fishing at night, you can't see where anything's at. This is taking line like a flathead. All right, guys. Hey, guys. Hooked up on a good fish. Hopefully you can see me. I'm going live over here. All right, he's under the boat now. He's bulldogging up and down. It's a good fish. Feels like a good fish. Time to share if you're going to share this. Dang. I'm deep, Emma. I still have not seen this fish yet. It's a big blue. Hadn't had that happen in a while. He came out of the net. He did not come out of the net that time. Bam! That's a toad. That's a toad. That is a toad, boys and girls. Bear with me here. Let me figure something out here. I'm getting this back into the holder. Get this fish into the boat. Get my scale. That's a pig. That is a pig. A little bit of a shot of him here. That's my foot. That's a 13 foot. That's a good fish. All right. Bear with me. I'm going to get you a shot of him in a second. I'm going to deal with getting him out of the net. What's going to happen is, just so you know, I'm going to try to get some pictures of him. So I'm going to get some shots on here, and I'm going to sign out of this deal because I'm going to have to use my phone to take some pictures. So let me get some pictures of him, some shots of him for you. I'm going to weigh this thing first in the net. $53 in the net. Double check it. Yeah. 53 in the net. That'll be right at 51 pounds. Now, does anyone remember what I was saying about how you can drift a really long way and not catch a fish, and then boom, all of a sudden out of nowhere? 51 pounds. There it is, folks. That's a slob. It's a good one. Look at that. 51. Bam! I love it. Thank you, Lord. It's a good one. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sign off of here. Be sure to hit thumbs up, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I'm going to jump off, go over to Northwoods Angling. He's on Facebook right now. Tell him I just put a 51 pounder in the boat. Live on YouTube. Alright? Thrash around. I'm going to show y'all one more time. Live, baby. Oh, 51 pounds. There it is. That fish even looks big with my fat butt holding it. Nice. Good one. Good one. Let's get some video of it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you tuning in. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. Tune in the next time. God bless all of you. Had a pretty good night. Y'all take care.